let's concentrate on creating a 3D scene of our clouds. Yeah. So the first thing I want to do is if you click on the Cinema 4D scene here, we can extract something. And if we extract everything, we'll see that our lights and our camera is extracted. So why that is because we need a camera here for our 3D scene. So we have our clouds here. Let's create a, well, let's change it to a 3D layer and drag it over here in the center and position it into Z space. So drag over here until you see a mouse with a Z next to it, and try to push it into Z space. So let's push it as far away as you can. Well, not as you can, but very far away. If you hold shift and you do this, it's going to drag faster. So that's something that's interesting to know. So we have our clouds here, and then we want to change the scale here. By holding shift, we will scale with a correct aspect ratio, so we can scale it up to cover the whole composition. And now we have, well, our first 3D layer of our clouds. So I'm going to click on the clouds, go to effect, and I'm going to add some color correction and tint. So I'm going to use a black and white color. I'm going to duplicate this layer by hitting Ctrl D, and now I have a separate image of our clouds. And I'm going to click on P on the keyboard and reset my Z space here. So click on this, zero this out, and now we'll see we have a way too big image. But let's click on it again, press S on the keyboard and scale it down like so. There we go. And now we have a closer to the camera, same kind of image. And now it's up to you to click on the pen tool and zoom out a little bit and just drag out some shapes. Like so. And then click F on the keyboard to feather it out, like let's say 25%. And now if you want to change it, like let's change the scale a little bit higher, move it over here, and we can see now if you're going to click on the camera, press P on the keyboard, and we start at the beginning, click the stopwatch, go to all the way at the end, click the stopwatch, well, click on this button here so we create a new keyframe, and then we're going to zoom in by clicking on the 0 here, and if we zoom in here, like so, it's going to animate over time, and it's going to pass these clouds. So we're going to do this like all the way up here. So now we have this animation. And you can see it isn't looking very realistic right now, but that is because you have to stack up your layers. So duplicate the layer, delete the mask. Well, delete the complete mask, I said. Okay. And now we want to create a new shape over here. And just try to key out like clouds or so. And now feather it again. Maybe 60. So do the same thing for here. Click on the clouds, press F on the keyboard and feather it even more. And now if we animate it, we can see we are passing these clouds, which is pretty cool. Let's put them a little bit more to the edge here. And duplicate, let's say this one here. And push it into Z space. Scale it up as well, pressing S on the keyboard. Scale it up like so. Oh. And reposition it. And now we can see we have some different kind of clouds. So that's looking pretty cool. We can also delete the mask again and like draw a different kind of image. And the more you feather it, maybe the better it might look. So try to feather it a little bit more and see how that works. So you can see it's already looking pretty neat. And now we should stack up with a different kind of cloud image. So let's search for a new one. I like this one, so I'll drag and drop it into my composition. And let's key this part out. Well, let's key the complete part here. And this might look very nice for the lightning that we are going to create at the end of this tutorial. There we go. And click on the fractal storm and feather it out all the way like so. Also go to Effect, Color Correction, Tint. And it's already black and white, but just to be sure, just add a tint here. And also created a 3D layer, so like so. Zoom out and try to reposition it like so, and click on here and scale it down. Well, not scale it down, we have to push it in Z space. Press P on the keyboard, push it in Z space and scale it up. So it's a little bit harder to do things like these, like this, but the result is so nice. You can see already how cool this is looking. So let's duplicate it again. Maybe go to the rotation tool here and rotate it on Z, so we can rotate it like this and position it like over here. Push it even further away, scale it down maybe. And look how cool this is looking, man. Just rotate it like so. You can even change the aspect ratio just a bit like so, and see how awesome this is. So we need a few more stacks, and let's go to our images. And the more variety of images you'll have, the better it's going to look. So we'll use this one, drag and drop it over here, go to Effect, Color Correction, Tint, and we're going to key out some cloud. By the way, I know this might be a very, very hard tutorial for some people. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to help you out, man. I'm already sorry that it's so hard, but I really can't do anything about it. It's just the way it is. By the way, sometimes you might start to see the edges because you're using too much feather, so just lower it a little bit and move your mask a little bit more from the edges. So that's something you don't want happening in the result, because that's going to mess up the realism. Alright, and it's a 3D layer. Press P on the keyboard and reposition it over here and rotate it on the Z and push it like over here, scale it up, duplicate it and put it over here and rotate it the other side and scale it even bigger. There we go. Well, maybe this is a little bit too much rotation. There we go. And push it more into Z space. And let's preview. Okay, so we need something to fill in here. So we'll just duplicate the same one here and push it over here. Even further. Awesome. And something over here, so duplicate it again. And just try to fill up all the gaps here. So further, scale it up. Also over here, we want to duplicate it again. So I use Ctrl D to duplicate something, by the way. And yeah, okay, maybe this should be closer to the camera, so just drag it in here. Okay, we're also going to try and keep things from getting into the center, because over here we are going to use our text. So maybe this one is a little bit too close to the middle. Okay, so this is looking better. And we already have our clouds. Maybe something like if we go to the first one here. We are searching for this one. And duplicate this one and push it into Z space. Double click the mask here and reposition it a little bit more to the top. And then click on the layer, go to the positioning tool and move it down like so. By the way, oh, what is happening here? Okay, we have some flickering here because we are passing through a cloud. Something you can do is try to find which cloud it is. So let's uncheck each individual cloud to see if it's okay. So it's this cloud here. And what I'll do is press T on the keyboard. Go over here, press on the key and press the stopwatch here at 100%. And go where it's flickering. So it's flickering over here. I'm going to change it to 0. So now it's going to fade out and it's going to be like you're passing through the cloud. So that's also pretty awesome. So this is how to create clouds, and just keep doing this to fill up the whole room. So I'll change fit up to 100%. I'm going to click on one cloud, go to Control and press A and toggle these down here. So now I'm going to do some basic color correction. So I'm going to head to layer, new adjustment layer, and I'm going to be adding some, well, a little grade. So I'm going to color correction and curves. Add a little bit of darkness here. And let's keep the highlights normal. So just push out the darks here. There we go. Also push on the reds. Take them away in the shadows. And we're already getting something very cool. So the next thing is to do to enable the Cinema 4D file and see how this is working with our scene here. So just preview it. And we can see there's not much happening with our scene here. So the reason that is, we are going to delete our camera and our light. And we're going to the Cinema 4D file again and click on our Cinema 4D here and just zoom out like so. Click a new stopwatch and go to the end of our scene and just pass our text like so. And click a new stopwatch. Now we have an animation of our camera in Cinema 4D, which is going to translate the same to After Effects. Okay, so our text is a little bit way too much up, so we're going to click on the group here and push it down like so. And let's see if we pass it. We should make sure that we're passing through the text like so. Here we're going to, with some whoosh effect, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we have our animation, and go to File, save it again, and go to After Effects and extract. So now we have our animation again, and we're going to pass our text here. You can see now the text is also animating like in Cinema 4D. So right now we see the text is black, and we want to change it to final, standard final, but it's at quarter resolution, so it's going to load up like so. And we want to grade our text a little bit as well. So go to Effect, go to Color Correction, Curves, and make it like darker. Try to make a curve like this. And take out the reds as well. And create a very subtle green curve like so. And let's preview this. Okay, we can see that because of the new camera animation that our background is a little bit out of sync, so we are going to click on our background layer and just scale it up like so. And also this one is also a little bit messed up, so we're going to scale this up and position it over here. And this one. Okay, let's see how this is looking. Alright, so it's almost rendered, and we're going to check out the preview of what we currently have. Okay, so we can see that already there are a little bit too much problems because of the camera that we designed in Cinema 4D after that we did the whole process at the beginning of our video. So we'll just try to change that by clicking on the clouds and just repositioning them all. So click over here, push it back into Z space here. Why is it getting darker? Okay, so and this one we're going to scale it up, also push it back a little bit, like so. Maybe I'm going to push this one back up front, or I'm going to head back in Cinema 4D first because I don't like the text at all. So we have our lights and we're going to set them up a little bit easier or better, let's say. So I'm going to try and position my camera like here. So we have our two lights here, so I'm going to move this one up a little bit, this one all the way back. Going to change the intensity a little bit lower. I'm going to add a new light. I'm going to push it up and push it here, so we have a little bit better highlights. Okay, so you can see here on the edges we have some great looking highlights, so that's awesome. The next thing I'll do is go to the bevel deformer and maybe add a 0.5 bevel. And I'm not going to subdivide it again, so like so. Let's preview this here. Okay, looking already a lot better, so I'm going to zoom in here. The text is also a little bit too textured, let's say, so let's open our texture editor here. And the bump strength, we're going to change it to 50, open up the bump, and change this to 20. Okay, so it should look alright with the bump. The only thing we should do is increase the size of our color texture here. So let's jump in here, let's change this to 500, go back, click on this one, change this to 300, go back, click on this one, let's change this to 250, and let's see if this changes anything. Alright, so it's looking better already. I think we need some more color variation, or let's say this one we're going to change it to a darker color, and this one as well. Alright, and go to the bump here and change this to, let's say, this to 250, and this one to 250 as well. Okay, it's getting better. Just the specular I'm not sure of, so if we head back a few times, go to the specular, open this up, and also change this to, like, say 300. Let's see what that does. Okay, so the texture of our text is better now, and we can see the cool highlights, which is awesome. So this is something we already fixed. Let's go to File and save this out. Go to After Effects and let's try to figure out all the clouds here so we can reposition them and make them look better. Okay, so this one as well. Try to make all the edges like invisible to the scene, like so. There we go. Also this one here. So we should have done it differently at the start. We should have immediately started with the camera and Cinema 4D. But yeah, we'll learn some things out of this, so it's not too bad, you know. Okay, almost done here. So let's see what this is doing. I'm going to uncheck the Cinema 4D file and just preview this so I can see if the clouds are looking alright. And it's going to render a lot faster, so something here is happening. I'm not sure what that is. It's probably the opacity that we animated here. So I'm going to press U on everything, or T on everything. Okay, so I can't find it here, so I'll try to find this one here. Press U on the keyboard. Okay, so here we have our keyframes on the opacity. Let's just head back and delete these. Let's see. Okay, so this one, move it here. So it's a little bit of messing around to get your clouds looking great, but the final result is so worth it to take your time and redo it a few times. Probably the first time you do this, if you're not as experienced in After Effects, you'll be, whoa, you will be overwhelmed, but try to do it and keep focused, keep doing this, and eventually you'll do it. Like, I remember the first times I was watching tutorials online, I was like, oh, these guys are doing it so fast and they make it seem so easy. But yeah, it's just practice. So rotate this one here. Okay. Push it back into Z space and push it over here. Okay, so this is looking already better in my opinion. So I'm going to click on the top layer here and I'm going to create a new adjustment layer, or let's say a new solid layer, and click OK. Go to Effect, Generate, and we're going to generate a ramp, gradient ramp. There we go. We're going to push the black here in the middle, change it to a ramp, radial I mean, and change this button here to the corner like so, and change the center to a light blue color. Well, light, pretty dark, but lighter. And then we're going to change another blue color to a very dark blue color. And let's toggle the switches here to change the transfer mode to a darken, and change the opacity by clicking P on the keyboard, T on the keyboard, to 20%. Now we already have like a lot more blue in our scene. And then one more thing, we're going to enable our text again. And we're going to add a new adjustment layer all the way on top here. And again, color correction, curves. We're going to add more darkness like so, and more highlights. Awesome. Maybe the text is a little bit too dark, so click on the text, go to our curves that we created before, and increase the highlights here. Let's also delete this one here. So I'll change it to full so I can see the quality of our texture a little bit better. Also, I should drop this below the solid that we just created with the blue. So make sure this is up top beneath the adjustment layer that we just created. And let's load it for a few seconds so we can see the final result in full resolution. And hopefully it looks alright. So okay, way too dark. So we'll change the text curves, and let's reset it for a second. Okay, so we're going to increase the brightness. Okay, so now we're getting it back. Alright, so now we have our text here and it's looking alright. So another thing you can do, you're not obligated to do this if you don't have the plugin, but if you do RSMB, if you apply this to your text, you're going to get some motion blur while it's moving, which is going to make it look a lot more realistic. But for this tutorial, I won't be using it. It's already hard enough. So I think we are almost there. So maybe go to the top curves here with the adjustment layer, change the resolution back to quarter, and let's zoom in a little bit on our text. So go further into time so we are closer to the text, and it's looking alright. It's very similar to the background. The colors are matching up. Let's add more contrast here in the colors on the top curve. So go to red, increase the reds a bit here and decrease them in the highlights. Go to blue and push it maybe down a little bit. Okay, so now we have our final colors. And this is it. So we have a result. The only thing left for us to do is to add some lightning. So click on the top layer here of the clouds. Go to layer, new adjustment layer. So above all our clouds, we have one adjustment layer. And we're going to click on the ellipse tool here. So go and drag into the ellipse tool and drag one ellipse here, like so. If If you hold your spacebar, you can move around your mask. Okay, and release it. Go to F on the keyboard and increase your feather to like 300. Go to Effect, Stylize, and add a glow. Bam, we have lightning. So let's decrease our intensity to 0.5 and duplicate our glow here and increase it like a lot. So now we have some nice lightning. Also change it maybe to 0.2. Okay, so now we have some really cool lightning. Even better than my original preview, I think. Okay, so I'm going to click on the glow intensity for this one and for this one, and I'm going to press U on the keyboard to reveal my keyframes and my timeline. Then I'm going to add 2 frames back, and I'm going to change them to 0. Both of these. So now we have 0. After 2 frames, we have our 100%. Maybe we can increase it like 0.3 even. And then go 1 frame back and change it to 0.1, 1 frame back, 0.4, and then 2 frames and 0 this out again. And let's preview this part. Press B on the keyboard to start our comp here. And let's preview that minor second. It's going to be very nice. And if you're going to be using some sound effects of thunder, some really bassy sounds like I've done in my preview, that's going to make the whole effect happen, and it's going to look really cool. Okay, so we have our lightning here. Maybe we should click on our mask and make it smaller, like so. Click OK, and I'm going to duplicate my adjustment layer, duplicate it, and I'm going to press U on the keyboard to reveal my keyframes here, and I'm going to offset just a little bit. And I'm going to also change my mask over here. So now it's going to be with a delay, okay, I can't talk anymore, but it's going to be with a delay now. So now it's going to do a double thunder here, so it's going to look pretty cool. Maybe it should be more offset here, so put it over here. And we can decrease the threshold here. So let's see what is right. Maybe offset it a little bit more. And now we have like the delay here, and that's looking really cool. Awesome. I love doing these things. Okay, so duplicate it one more time and position it over here and delay it even longer. Okay, awesome. So now we have like this here. Cool. Okay, so it's looking really cool, and now it's up to you to copy your keyframes, paste them somewhere in time, and well, just do whatever you want. Experiment with the time of the lightning here. Maybe use this one as a offset here, so okay, really cool. So one thing I've done in my preview as well is I added a little bit of more aspect ratio. So I made a new solid, made it a black color, and put it all the way on top here. So all the way on top. Alright, so here it is. And then I went to the rectangle tool, went to the center, like so, exactly the center. I dragged it out like so, and then I held Ctrl, which is going to make it symmetry. Like so, and I'm going to drag it here and change the add to subtract, and now we have like that wide aspect filmic ratio, which is really cool. So this is my tutorial on how to create the Harry Potter style intro sequence. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll see what I can do to help you out. I know it's been a whole lot of information for most of you people, so hopefully there are also people that already understand the ways of doing this, but it's been a harder tutorial but a very awesome result, so hopefully that weighs up. Yeah, so if you have any questions, or if you want to see another tutorial, another kind of tutorial, leave a comment below. If you like this tutorial, also give it a thumbs up, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Thank you for watching, and yeah, goodbye.